everybody, and welcome back to the Quiet Gentleman channel. I'm Matt, and we're going to be doing the Savage Christmas game today. I'm here with John
Hello.
playing Belsnikel,
Yes.
Jen playing Frau Perchta, Greg playing the Yule Cat, and then Justine playing Krampus. We played last week as well. If you haven't watched that one, we'll recap here in a second to give you an idea, but it was a lot of fun. I was in stitches at the end, thanks to Jen. But we had a lot of fun. I thought they all showed back up, so I guess we had enough fun.
It was okay.
But we've got shows normally on the channel. Next Tuesday is our Tomes of Isolation game. We'll be back with that. That'll be the last show for the rest of the year, though. We are kind of taking a little bit of a hiatus. Just there's a lot of stuff going on. John and Roxy are moving across the country. I'm lazy. Just we've got a lot of stuff going on. Honestly, I do have a lot. We all have a lot going on with holidays. So we're going to take a little bit of time off. We'll be back on January 5th with Tomes of Isolation again. And then I think Growing Shadows should pick back up on the 7th. And then we'll be doing a side quest for Illuminated Page starting on the 14th for Coldwater Camp Coldwater.
Camp Coldwater.
I don't know. Roxy's here somewhere. I'm sure she's typing it as I'm speaking. But yeah, like Bunkhouse B will be back, and we will get to see London. Camp Coldwind. Thank you. London, Ricky, and what's my character's name? Jeez, Kevin. See what their adventures look like a few years later and see how terribly they are messed up by what happened in the last game. So come check those out. Greg, you've got a book that got delayed a little bit, but should be out in the next week, right?
Yes, it will be out by Christmas. It's Art of War. It's a think Naruto meets Avatar: The Last Airbender, that type of setting. Very anime. It'll be a lot of fun. It's for Savage Worlds, so
fantastic. And that'll be up on Drive Through RPG.
Yes.
We will slap a link to that here in the chat because I just pulled it up. I don't know why I didn't think to do that earlier. But come check those out, and we will have that up. And then Jen, you've got your shop up, right?
If you are still looking for really awesome gifts and things for the nerdy and gaming enthusiasts in your life, go to savagesparrow.com. I sell t-shirts, apparel, accessories, etc. I can't guarantee at this point that things will get there by Christmas, especially with all the post office delays, but you'll get them eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, check those out. She's got super soft blankets. You can see pictures of a cute little dog on one of the blankets right there on the homepage. And Buddy approves. They're definitely Buddy approved. So check those out on savagesparrow.com. I think that's everything I need to plug right now. We'll plug some more stuff later, I'm sure. But we're gonna hit an intro real quick, and then we'll come back and give a recap for what we've been doing. So we'll see you in just a second.
Some like candy, but a severed foot is the ultimate stocking stuffer. Feel free to scream whenever you want. Merry Christmas, my dear.
Right, so last week, our four characters, Belsnikel, Frau Perchta, the Yule Cat, and Krampus, all coalesce is the wrong word, and I don't know why that's the one I want to use every time. Gathered, sure. Gathered works. Gathered at a Midwest mall to find out what happened to Santa. Santa disappeared, and they had to track him down because Santa has the naughty list, even if it's just in his head. And without the naughty list, our Christmas nasties cannot exist. So They did some investigation at the mall, and tracked the information out to a tree farm where they were assaulted by toy soldiers and an elf with a
Candy cane hammer.
candy cane
Peppermint.
hammer. It was later that we got after some questioning, they decided to go to the North Pole to see what was going on there. And what was the elf's name? Greg? John?
Edward.
Bobby? Edward. It was something super mundane. That's what I was working on. Edward, the head elf at the North
Workshop.
Pole, had kind of co-opted all the elves to start making toys of war. So the nasties went to go check that out and to question him. In the process, they had to fight the leprechaun, who they did not take his pot of gold or his lucky charms.
He got away.
Yeah, he did get away, but a vicious fight ensued. I like to think it was vicious. And then they got shot, or I'm sorry, Belsnikel got shot by a tinsel cannon.
Mhm.
And then they questioned Edward to find out that the Council of Holidays is upset because Santa is encroaching on everyone else. And so they have to go find out what's going on. So the plan was to head to Snowgate. No, Snowhenge.
Snowhenge.
Man, words are hard today. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, Matt did call Greg's name mundane. I'm sorry. So they are headed to Snowhenge to go to the extra dimensional place where the Council of Holidays is likely holding Santa Claus.
I am curious how successfully I was able to demoralize and Catholic guilt that leprechaun.
A leprechaun or Edward?
Oh, Edward, sorry.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Edward seems a little guilty, but not super guilty. I'm guessing elves are not Catholic. I'm guessing. So you guys are still in the North Pole. You have an idea of where the Snowhenge is, but it's going to be a distance, and you're on a timetable. Not until the end of Christmas night before you may just cease to exist. No one knows.
As a refresh, to access the portal located at Snowhenge, we're supposed to leave freshly lain snow.
Did
Am
say
I
that?
remembering that wrong?
I don't think we actually talked about how to activate Snowhenge.
I don't remember that detail at all, so no.
Yeah, no, I was just going to play it by ear, which is how I've been doing 90% of
Okay. Okay.
So, I did have something else. The toy weapons that the elves have been making here, what kind of arsenal does the North Pole have? We got this tinsel cannon.
That's a good question. What would you
Yeah.
expect to see here?
So we've seen the tinsel cannon, we've seen the toy soldiers.
Yeah.
There was mention of duck tanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of those have been put out into like the field to be sold, but there are a couple that could probably be
Okay.
grabbed.
Let's see. Have they done anything to the reindeer yet?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay. So I'm thinking perhaps Christmas bulb grenades would be a thing. You know, the typical round ornaments.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I would like to grab those and then stuff one of the reindeer in my sack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Is the sleigh here by chance?
Yeah, it definitely is. And we'll say that you did not grab one of the 9 reindeer because they're a backup reindeer.
They're backup. Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like the other ones probably are not able to go in there. They're too magical to go into your bag.
Okay.
It can be problematic.
But I can have a reindeer mount is what we're
that's fine.
agreeing to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do
That's fair.
we want to take a sleigh?
would be cool to arrive at Stonehenge or at Snowhenge in the sleigh. So is the sleigh around?
Why don't you guys all give me some sort of perception check, like a good sense would be best.
Can I do food?
Well, you didn't say it right.
Is it food? The
No.
rails are clearly made of candy canes in most of the Hallmark ornaments, so
that's
it's partly
true.
food.
Sure, yeah, you can use food. You can use bad sense. I would say anything that would sense to see where it was at, because it's none of you work here. Be like going in the back of a subway.
But I am former apprentice of Santa. So
I mean, do you want to invoke that high concept?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my 0 is not, and the other rolls are not doing great.
Go ahead and spend your fate point.
Okay, I spend it and get a 2.
Cool. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong thing. That's part of the problem. Cool. So nobody did very well on those rolls. That's okay.
I got a 2.
Yeah, no, but everybody else got negatives.
Yeah.
You do have a sense of where it might be. Things have changed in the last. Oh, and then
Sorry,
Justine comes in there.
I'm late to the game.
No. Yeah. Justine comes in there with an actual good roll. Between your knowledge of the location and Justine's ability to sense Krampus. Thank you. Krampus's ability to sense the lack of bad. So basically, it's just like there's this void of bad, and it's more of like finding the outline of that lack of badness. You two track down the sleigh. It is not prepared at all. But because you invoked your highest concept, I'm going to let you go ahead, and you know how to prep it. You get to choose 6 reindeer. Which 6 do you choose? Sing through the song in your head. Go ahead.
Yeah. Donner and Blitzen.
Okay.
Comet and Cupid.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. I'm
You're allowed to have help from friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Phone a friend.
Okay.
No more.
Dasher,
Dancer.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Donner,
Dancer.
Cupid,
Comment
something,
on Cupid.
Blitzen.
Yeah. There, we've named at least 6.
Okay. So yeah, you grab 6 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Is
Now that you've decided
is there
this,
a 7th
you got
harness?
what now? I'm sorry.
Is there a 7th harness?
No, there are enough
Okay.
harnesses for 6 of them.
Darn it!
So
No
2
giant cat.
harnesses missing.
It's several harnesses are missing. There are backup reindeer too.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
yeah,
Okay. That's weird.
Roxy suggests that you take the thunder and lightning as reindeer.
Yes.
Yes, thunder and lightning. Yeah, you get them all hooked up, and are you going to travel by sleigh to Snowhenge?
Yeah.
I think it would be less taxing on us.
That's a good point. And maybe there's a little residual magic in Santa's sleigh that can get us there without using up a whole lot of time.
Yeah. So let's have everybody roll will. John, add 1 to yours.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Roxy, good point. Everybody's going to get 1 fate point back across the board, and that does not include me.
So I got a 7.
All right. Well,
I'm back in my element.
yeah. So it looks like we got we got ones from Frau and Krampus, a 0 from the Yule Cat, which is not bad, and then a
Just
7.
not good.
Yeah, it's not good, nor it's neither good nor bad. You don't fall on either list.
The cat just doesn't have a great will to help out. Like
Well, it's like-
helping is just kind of antithetical to the cat.
But also getting in the car. No cat really likes getting in the car.
I
Um,
made the suggestion. That was my effort.
Yeah, that was your input.
Absolutely. That is a good question, Sean. Yes, please spend as many channel points as you want to give Matt fate chips. Bah ha 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 ha. So you guys get up in the air and start heading that direction. Belsnikel, it seems to come back to you. Like you weren't ever the one to Santa drove the sleigh.
Right.
But you always you've helped and you know held the reins while he, ate some cookies and drank some milk.
I'm sure I got driving lessons
Yeah.
in the downtime between Christmases, but
Yeah, it has
It's-
been fate and it is 7:50. Yeah, so you got the lessons down. It's all coming back to you. But as you get up in the air, what you realize you've forgotten is that the most important reindeer of all is not hooked up. Rudolph, in fact, the red-nosed reindeer, is not there, and he cannot guide your sleigh tonight.
oh come on,
Oh,
he
fuck him.
has only been in the canon for like half a century at best.
Fair.
Serious?
It's fair, but without his light guiding you,
He's not a real reindeer.
how dare you?
There's a reason he's not invited to those reindeer games, okay? I'm just saying.
Jerk. Wow. I did not expect this much hatred for I approve. I just did not expect it. I'm perfectly okay with this.
Is
what now?
our sleigh going down? Like, do we need to swap out for a
No,
giant
no.
cat and a fate point?
It just takes a lot longer as Belsnikel, while you're doing fine with the driving, the navigation is pretty rough. And you're getting buffeted around by, winter snow blasts. So what should you expect take 3 or 4 minutes takes more like an hour.
I kind of agree with the council now. The commercialization of Christmas is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, if it takes an hour, I would like to have a conversation. This has been bugging me all week. If Mr. Claus, and I'll just say this in character now, if Mr. Claus has gone mad with power, does he need to be replaced?
I mean,
As I look at the driver.
I mean that's a thing that could be discussed, but just the total total takeover that has happened here is what is the thing I have a problem with. Like the council should discuss this.
I agree.
Roxy has presented how you would fix this. You just need to push Tim Allen off a roof.
Yeah. That sounds like a plan I can approve of.
We should really get a feel for what he is like now and assess the situation for ourselves. And considering we will have him at our mercy when we get him, I imagine that would make him way more malleable to whatever demands we may have.
I'm okay with
What she
that.
thinks.
Out of character, is Mrs. Claus a thing?
Yes. And we can rewind and go back if you guys want to deal with Mrs. Claus, but she is in fact, you guys have left. I don't mind going back and dealing with that. That's fine.
I just think we're on the right path of we're already in the sleigh and we're going. This is, again, I'm a cat. I think about things at the last minute.
She will be a concern if, Santa needs to be dealt with as we wander. But
I'm imagining the Yule Cat up on the roof with Tim Allen just being like
creeping up over the back eave of the house, getting slightly larger, and then just
looking him in the eyes while he pushes him off. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Man,
anyway.
Roxy, good night. There's so much thirst going on in the chat, Roxy.
She's evil.
I'm fine with Chris Evans as Santa Claus too, as well, not Santa Claus the second. So you guys, it takes about an hour, but you land at Snowhenge. while flying over most of England, it is cold and dreary, but not snowing. But when you land, there is a pocket of ground around these stones that is just knee deep snow. You see holly around, like kind of wrapped around a lot of the stones. You can hear sleigh bells even after you stop, but they don't seem to be coming from anywhere in particular. You can feel the magic in this place. It's Stonehenge. Why are you laughing?
I wanted to make a call back to our personal D&D game from last week, but
Oh yeah, no
the sounds coming from nowhere. How does that work? What's going on here?
magic.
Yeah,
I mean, you
but
suck
when
people in
when my
sacks.
light comes from nowhere, you're like, how does it? I don't understand. So it's a magic cave,
Sounds
Matt.
nauseating.
It is nauseating. You're right.
Anyway, sorry to derail. But we don't see anybody around.
You guys can all give me bad sense rolls.
Oh,
Oh, that is an oaf. Wolf.
Hey, I'm useful.
Oh, mine's not bad, but
no.
Oh, there we go. I see yours. So Krampus and Yulecat, the two of you kind of look around for a few minutes and note that while there's no one here, there are several tracks through the snow. Some that are just barely into the snow, like someone walked across the top of it. Which once that's pointed out to you, Belsnikel, you know that's a thing that that winter elves, the northern elves, can do. But then there are large, like wider than a man should be tracks, and it looks like something was dragged behind it.
Oh. So
It looks bigger than Santa.
oh,
mm,
Like a Yeti footprint?
There are not footprints only because the snow has continued to fall, and these,
Okay.
from the best you can tell, are several hours old.
you said they look like something was dragged behind
Yeah, so
the elf footprints.
yeah,
like a sack.
a sack maybe, maybe just maybe a body was dragged and somebody walked through holding on to it. It's hard to tell.
Right. But regardless, this is the only sign of other people being around that we can see.
Correct.
So I guess I think we should head that direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
towards the portal.
As the four of you enter the hinge, as it were, things shimmer and change some. Um, what was outside of the hinge before was kind of just English countryside, nothing notable. Once you get inside of it, though, everything around you is nothing but pine and spruce trees, as though you're surrounded by a Christmas tree forest. And there is a shimmering inside the very center of it. You can sense the. I need to go look at chat. You can sense the magic and how it would work, and all you really need to do is will yourself, while being close to the mystical energy there, to go to this other realm.
I'm sorry, I guess I didn't follow that exactly. Thinking,
There's a shimmering in the middle.
okay.
That would be a mystical energy. All you have to do to travel to the other realm, this is what you're here for, is to will yourself there. Now that
Do you
you're
want us
inside
to
the
roll?
hinge.
Should we roll will?
No. I'm
Okay.
no, because inevitably somebody's gonna roll a negative and not show up in the other realm. No, you will just decide to go. That's fine. It will be a conscious decision for you to make that transition.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. So yeah, so this is basically the door to the castle sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, all right. I guess we're headed inside.
Is anyone want to do anything in the real world um, before we transfer over into a different realm? Fantastic.
I can't think of anything
No,
to
no,
do here.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. I wanted to make
Okay.
sure before, we take that next step that we are prepared.
I mean, I got a bundle of grenades and a live reindeer in my sack. I think I'm as prepared as I can be.
I'm not sure that that's a phrase I ever thought I was going to hear. I don't think that I was aware that I didn't need to hear that phrase. I've got a bundle of grenades and a reindeer in my sack.
Good to go.
Somebody's fetish. More,
Yeah,
more
hey.
content for the OnlyFans.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so the four of you push your wills towards the energy and find yourselves sliding through a mystical transportation. Everything becomes very disorienting for a moment. You hear a lot of things, the sounds of many holidays, both present, past, and future. You see ghosts of those past holidays that have been forgotten or overwritten by other holidays, which for each of you brings up a kind of a former self of a time before Christmas, before there was this unifying holiday. So where the four of you we discussed at the very beginning of the game feel like maybe there's a lot of overlap between the four of you, and why do we all have different, or why are we all here when there's only one naughty list? The reality is there wasn't always just one naughty list. There were several, or you made your own, and that has changed. And as much as you kind of coalesce into this new realm, you get this feeling that as much as Santa has overwritten other, or is pushing on other holidays, he has also pushed on each of you and further defined who you are. You find yourself in a forest. It looks like mid-August, or mid-autumn. That's the wrong word. Mid-autumn. So lots of leaves are colored and changed. Not a lot of leaves on the ground, but still some. You can smell the scent of like fresh spring rain and like grilled meat that like you would have at a good 4th of July party. There's a sense of like a thick, um, man, what do you call that? Humidity. There we go. That's the word. There's like a sense of a thick humidity, but you don't find yourselves sweating all that much. Um, and all of you feel something you haven't felt in a very long time. A little bit of true happiness. Not happy to be doing something that fulfills your role as who you are, but like this um, internal contentment and happiness, just that things are around you, not about who you are or what you do, but just that the world here isn't so bad.
Do we know, like, do we know this place? Like, have we been here before in our?
You have never been you've never been invited or welcome in the realm of the council.
Okay, so this is a new sensation then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because the kind of like the vibe I'm getting is sort of just like, I mean, holidays all have a like, the ideal holiday is supposed to engender good feelings. So like we're just getting all those good feelings at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's a little more intense than we may have
I,
experienced.
partially that, but also partially that you're used to Christmas and how it feels, and for you it is different than this.
Right, because we don't get to partake in the magic of the other holidays.
Yeah, well, and you don't get to partake in the happiness of Christmas. That is not
I guess
your
that's a
that's
good
not your
point, yeah.
purview. So
Okay.
this isn't inherently, this is something different from what you're used to. It's not necessarily bad. None of you feel bad about it unless you decide you really hate happiness, and that's fine. You can. but it is definitely a different feeling for how you exist.
Mhm.
So before, like, kind of under you is a path. There's a path behind you as well, but it kind of disappears into a mist, and you get the sense that if you walk into that mist, you will appear back in the real world, or as real as the Snowhinge area is of the real world.
Sure.
Um,
Is
how would you like to approach your travel through the council's realm?
is it possible for me to call upon my aunt, like, because I know his name? I don't know if I've ever tasted Santa. That sounds wrong. Um, but eyes that see you can see your target as long as you know its name. Is that applicable here?
Yes. So I'll have you spend a fate point to enact that. Well, I'm not going
Yep.
to have you roll anything.
At least so we know a direction is what I'm going for.
Yeah. So you get the sense that um, you can't necessarily see Santa. There's something about the magic here that's causing an issue, but you can sense that that he is in the direction that the road goes generally, but also up quite a bit, maybe 800 or 900 feet.
Okay. Uh, I uh, I'll take a big smell, my whiskers twitch, and then I'll kind of look up. He's this way. He is down this path, but not on the ground. He is up there somewhere. And I'll look up at the clouds and point with my paw as best I can.
They may have constructed some sort of prison or cage to hold him in while they deal with the other their more important issues. So that makes a little bit of sense. Um, and the only place to go seems to be forward at this point. So um, we don't see any signs of like a lookout or any type of don't have any indication that they are aware that we've arrived. Is that correct?
You can roll good sense. Everyone else who has bad sense, when you try and kind of push at that, the area is just overwhelming with this permeating happiness that kind of throws off that sense altogether. After a little while, you may be able to kind of get used to that, but right now it's too much. With your good sense roll, you're not feeling anything, you don't see anything, but it's given that they were prepared by sending the leprechaun,
Right.
they know you're coming.
They know we're coming. But okay, so my first thought as to how we should proceed is um, we have two characters that are, I guess, basically the idea of everybody can like we should try to stealth it as much as possible. Perhaps sending the stealth characters into the trees to either side to follow as I go up the path is my thought process here. Like they know we're coming, but they don't necessarily know where we're coming from. Hopefully,
Also, an open area like outside, right? We're not like in a building.
You're outside, but it is like a lightly forested area. So like there are
Yeah.
trees. Um they don't block out the sun from around you, but they definitely give a lot of shade.
Okay. Well, basically, because my thought is that I would turn, go into my goose shape and provide air support. But like, if I wouldn't be able to see him from the air, then that's not, like, is it that forested, or is it like there's trees dotting here and there?
It's thicker than trees dotting here and there, but it is definitely, you could see through to the ground in most places.
Okay.
You also could see
Great.
what's ahead of you pretty easily that you can't
Yeah.
currently see because of the foliage.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that idea.
All right, cool. So I will do that then. Do you need me to roll?
Don't do that. Why did I do that? Hold on. Yeah, go ahead and roll shape change for me.
Okay. And then I do also have stealth.
Instead of rolling stealth, actually roll roamer.
Omer?
Yeah.
I don't think I have that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at your sheet.
Where?
It's an
Oh,
average. Yep.
I see it.
Yep.
Okay. What is roamer?
You roam from place to place.
Oh.
So you you get up into the air. You change shape without much of an issue. You get up into the air and look and begin to kind of like look around and travel. What you find first is that there's a lot of mist, like just kind of in and out of everything, making it a very short distance that you can really see. But what you do see in the distance is a large protruding mountain that grows up pretty rapidly. But you can see a stairway carved into the side of the mountain, like hugging the side of it, going up um, and crisscrossing back and forth as it does. Given what the Yule, or I'm sorry, yeah, given what the Yule Cat said, you expect that Santa is at the top of that, and it is a lot of
Okay.
steps to go up. But what you also see is there is at the base of the mountain is a village. And each house is very different from the other. And in the center of the village, kind of the village kind of spreads around it in a circular or in a half circle pattern, is a table with chairs and um, like seats for, we'll say, 12 holidays.
So I
Each of the
would.
houses would house the different holidays or some version of those because there's more than 12 homes.
Are they
Oh,
grouped in neighborhoods like season, like holidays that have fall
They're
on the calendar?
sort of, there's not quite that many. There's maybe 24 of them. So
No.
it's not like there's a lot to really group together, but you can see, or she can see through the coloring that there are clearly themes together. So like there are a bunch of greenhouses and they're probably
Spring and summer
spring.
holidays.
Yeah. So like there's a clear delineation of it, and it goes kind of from like a white all the way to a white,
Mhm.
but then goes through each of the holidays.
Well,
so yeah, I would basically fly down a little bit and sort of give him that rundown of where everything is and all of that before returning back to like scouting and everything.
So is that the plan you guys are going with? Is that people go out into the woods on each side of the path, and then all of you head that direction while the Frau kind of provides air support? That sound good to
I
everybody?
believe so. I'm good.
Cool.
all right.
So what size are you at, Yule Cat?
I would probably be sticking with the tiger size that I've been.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go through the forest, it doesn't take very long, and you come out of the forest at the village. In the village, what Frau did not see is that there are people moving around. Well, not people, humanoid shapes moving around. A lot of elves, some gnomes, other uh, mystical creatures that you would expect to serve different people. Um, some lesser leprechauns, although you see that a lot of them seem a little disheveled and heartbroken. Um, there are little pumpkin dudes, like skeletons with pumpkin heads, just walking around doing their own thing. Um, so you see a lot of like minions for each of the holidays, but you don't see the holidays themselves.
Then I think I'm going to
Do
make
we
a
see the
grand
mountain?
entrance here.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was
Okay.
just saying if we could see the mountain. But go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we can see the base of the
Oh
mountain
yeah,
from
yeah.
here now.
It's like right behind
Okay.
the village.
So it kind of all dawns on us that that's maybe what the Yule Cat was sensing, is that Santa's held up there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, then my my thought is I'm going to make a grand and intimidating entrance. So I draw out my switch and I give it a good solid crack, and I'm like, I need to see the council.
One of the pumpkin guys stops and looks at you and gives you a very toothy grin, as pumpkins are wont to do, and says, "The council is on the mountain. They're expecting you."
Okay. Um, then I guess I just keep going on my way through the town. I'm going to smash the table.
Oh, you're gonna smash. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a switch roll.
Okay.
Oh,
7.
that is a 7. That is definitely a 7. So you walk up towards the table, and as you kind of raise your switch, you can feel every eye in the village turn to you. All of them. Even ones inside of houses, you are aware they are watching you.
Yep.
And as you bring your switch down on the table, it shouldn't crack. It's a big old wooden table. You hit it so hard that this table splinters into shards and breaks in multiple pieces. And at that, you can feel this magic in the table come rushing out. It slams through you and goes up towards the top of the mountain.
Okay.
You are like, it's like the breath is knocked out of you, and when you get sick and your knees get real shaky, and you just feel like you're for a few moments, you feel that as this thing slams through you, and then that kind of calms down for a minute, or after a minute, and then you're fine. But you have broken the table, and all of the faces in the villages just look distraught.
Cool. I just
And
march on as
well, that's when you notice there's a little rabbit next to you. He says, "Well, now you've done it. Now you've released the power for them." And
Yeah.
then his nose twitches,
yeah.
and then he kind of hops away. He says, "It will be even harder now for you."
Okay. So I'm fine with that. I keep going forward.
Can I get everybody to roll bad sense again, or bad sense for the first time here? Definitely bad sense. I can't read those. Sorry. Fantastic. So, Yulecat and Frau, you both can sense that the magic that kind of binds you isn't necessarily slipping away, but it is definitely changing after that table broke. Um, you're still, you feel as solid as ever, but it's like your strings to the mortal realm are being pulled in in a different way that they weren't before. Just that you're anchored in a very different manner. And now that anchor is kind of a little more fluid than it had been. It's a little disconcerting.
Okay. It's like our power is fluctuating or whatever.
It's not so much your power, but like your existence as a whole
Hmm.
is not quite the same.
I don't like that feeling, and I'm a cat.
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like
Do go ahead.
no, I was gonna make a terrible joke that I decided to guess.
Oh, go ahead.
Do I like, because I live in a house with 12 the 12 lads, and like there's 2 adult trolls. Do I feel a connection to them, or is that slowly fading?
That's a good question. Let me
Like, is that one of those I don't have a house anymore? Or like, I'm trying to tie it to the physical
roll will for
realm
me.
being all wonky. Okay. Mm.
So when you kind of pull at those senses in that connection from the real world, you can sense the trolls, but the lads are not there.
Okay. Oh.
What you do feel is a pull for the lads from the top of the mountain.
Oh.
They got an invite, and we didn't. Son of a.
Oh. Yeah. Corporate takeover is what
Really
I'm
did that.
sensing.
Yeah, so really, that's all that's ticking me off is that I wasn't involved from the beginning.
I didn't get invited to the mutiny. How come nobody wanted me to mutiny with them?
I'll come out of the
Well,
woods up to Belsnikel now and like trot alongside him. There's no sense in hiding.
no, I guess that I didn't think about how that might have turned out as in depth, but what's done is done. So I think I'm going to keep walking towards the mountain, towards the stairs.
Okay.
Yep.
As you start to ascend the stairs, they pass by rapidly, in a weird shifting of time and space. As you take a step or two, you almost immediately have to turn and go back up the switchback of stairs.
Magic escalator.
And it kind of it just so you very rapidly ascend the mountain. As you come to the top, what you see in front of you is 12 pillars in a circle around what should be like a fire pit, for something like a bonfire, something larger. That has been cleared away. Pillars are still there, but in the center um, is uh, ropes tied to four of the pillars, suspending uh, Santa Claus, and 11 holiday creatures chanting something, and you can see his body is all but chocolate now, like from head to toe. There are small little spots that are still magically changing, but he is almost a solid piece of Santa chocolate. Santa size Santa chocolate. A lot of calories. Hopefully nobody has diabetes.
Can I draw in my high concept and as the old spinner lady to get rid of those ropes?
Yes, so why don't we have you roll spinning thread and spend a fate point. And you can undo those ropes as long as you don't completely fail this roll.
I did not roll.
There. So the Frau immediately goes into action and waves her. You're not still a goose, are you?
Say, for the sake of again, when the cat figured out that there was no point in hiding, and she already saw everything, she would have just come back down to ride up with everybody else. So yeah, definitely old lady mode.
So as you do that, you wave your hand, and the ropes unspin from themselves, and the chocolate Santa wasn't very far off the ground, maybe a foot, but as it falls, it hits the ground and cracks open because it was hollow inside. And the 11 holidays move forward and look as though they're going to devour the chocolate. And with some just basic knowledge of magic, you know that if they eat that chocolate, they will essentially be consuming the power of Santa Claus, which could If that happens, very
Harmless.
well unmake the 4 of you.
Yeah.
Can I pounce and kind of jump with my leaping skill, Great Leaper, and jump in
Absolutely.
front? Okay.
As you begin to move to do that, though, from behind each of the pillars comes one of the Yule lads, brandishing their meat hooks and skillets and pots and like all the things that you would expect them. All 12 of them, I think there are 12. I'm counting 12.
Yes, there's 12.
All 12 of them are there. And the Gulligok, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the Icelandic name because that I'm just not going to do that. Gulligok says, "This isn't your place, cat. It's time for the claws to end."
Well, crap. No. Still jump over and try to guard. I would probably okay. So let me do this. I'm going to leap, but I would like to grow larger. This way, I can encompass Santa, at least on top of him. So he's going to get a
Roll
face full
your
of fur.
shape change, and you're
Okay.
going to get a +4
Okay.
on top of whatever you roll. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you don't just like kind of shift in size. You leap at tiger size and land at like small bus size.
Okay.
And it's immediate, like that change from one size to the other.
We've got cat bus.
Totoro.
And just hiss and eyeball each of the 12 lads. Like and of course the other council, but screw them. I got a personal vendetta at this point.
You see Sam the eagle, our
4th of July.
4th of July, kind of his eyes narrow. He says, "This is not the American way."
I'm not American.
That whole line
You've been
for
waiting,
a whole week.
You've been waiting on that since we decided Sam was the.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Oh, does he have the Stars and Stripes top hat?
Yeah, he's got like a sash too.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
It's
Cool.
everything you would expect him to be.
And the blue colonial.
Yeah.
Jacket,
Like the jacket. Yeah.
Cool.
It's going to look him in the
And then,
windows of his soul and say, "We existed long before you were a country boy."
Awesome.
The Pumpkin King comes forward, which is really just a giant pumpkin that's dragged along by vines. Not legs, it's just like dragged across the ground.
Does it have a skeleton shoved
Nope,
up inside of it?
just a
vines?
and by giant pumpkin I mean like we're talking like Volvo-sized pumpkin.
Yeah. Have you watched Over the Garden Wall?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. There's an episode in that where there's a pumpkin festival.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
yeah. So I'm picturing that is
the pumpkin, the great pumpkin, like drags itself forward and says, "It is time for things to change. Even I'm old, who is as old as you, knows that this has not been healthy for anyone, including you."
Pitter, pitter, pat is the sounds of a gourd going splat.
Wow, that was a threat. Holy cow.
Smack.
And what gives
I
you
don't-
the right to decide our fates for us?
We don't have to decide your fate. One of you can decide it, but his fate is done.
There were rules in place
And
for this type of change, and you ignored them.
no, we petitioned the council as always.
But you are the council. So
And somehow the council was always overruled. Fatman was stealing our power. And you are accomplices whether you meant to be or not.
So we replace him with a new one?
Perhaps one that has been trained by him. one that knows his ways. You can feel the pumpkin eyes searing through whatever you have that might look like a soul.
Do we get to nominate?
The
I think they nominated me.
what you would expect Harvey from the movie Harvey to look like, this giant puka of a rabbit, kind of steps forward, like rubs its nose, says, "Some form of us has been here. Well, some form of most of us," and looks over at Sam the Eagle. Says, "Some form of us has been here for forever. Even he has predecessors. You had predecessors. Fatman has used the last century to to begin to overpower us, and has done so a little at a time. This cannot continue, and the council had to take action."
Not sure what to do in this case because, again, a change is fine. Just the way they went about it is what I object to.
Let me understand this correctly. All of you were too weak to handle your holidays. That you decided, rather than consulting the rest of us who draw power from him, and provide a very specific purpose to keep the world in balance during this time, to upset that order and just assume it would work out.
Like a treant looking thing kind of glides forward, and you hear it kind of, it's like winds whispering through leaves is what the voice sounds like. It says, "We did consult your people, the elves, the Yule lads. They backed us. Others like Krampus work for us as well. Yeah, I took your Arbor Day idea. Anything you guys put in chat is for full use for me, by the way. I'm just warning you. That's gonna keep happening, Roxy. Uh we did consult you, but the four of you and others like you are too tied to the Fatman to understand what would happen. If he were alerted, things would have not happened this way. The geese have been on our sides for decades. Have you not noticed how angry they've gotten in this world?"
You were going to absorb his power and
Do you truly think that the four of you can take 11 holidays? We have not started a fight with you because we give you the chance to make this right. One or more of you can consume him. Can I get food from Belsnikel and devour from Yulecat rolls? I'm sorry. Can I get food?
Food?
And then I'd say Krampus, give me a sack stuffing, and Frau, give me a stuffing bellies roll.
No.
Fantastic. That's all great. Belsnikel, that is some
Yes.
food. That is definite. That's not even like food. That's food. You could take the power. You could appoint someone to replace you. You could share the power with the other four. You could change the holiday for the better, the actual better. You could let the happiness that you're feeling now take more of a permanent place. You failed the roll.
It's
by the way,
very
yeah.
no, yeah. It's so tempting. Oh man. I mean, I am Lady Galadriel sitting there in front of Frodo. The ring is. I could reach out and take it.
And the ring this time just happens to be a
A
giant chocolate Santa. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Then I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, you see Belsnikel sort of turn a little feral and stalk towards the.
You mean a little more
A
feral.
little more feral, and stalk towards the pile of chocolate. I'm giving in. I think. Yeah.
Frau
I can
will
do
do
it better.
so because I feel like she is a very practical person, but it's like, yeah, he's not coming back from that.
So are the two of you going to eat? Like both of you going to eat Santa?
He's gonna like shove me off him.
Well,
she's stopping.
She's trying to stop me. Yeah.
So
No, I'm not.
you're not?
She's going with you.
I'm going
No.
with you. I'm
Yeah,
saying
no, I don't.
unless you are like shoving Frau off of him, like we are devouring together.
Yeah, as long as you don't reach for the same piece as me, we should have no issue because there's plenty of chocolate to go around.
I'll
There'll
get
be
the
two
head,
dogs
you
and a
get the
free
feet.
Yeah.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah,
exactly. Yule Cat and Krampus, are you going to just let this happen? Are you going to join them? Are you going to stop them? Unlike Humpty Dumpty, Santa could still be put back together again.
I don't know. I think I'm a little too dazed by the feralness.
Yeah, there's a lot going through my head right now. Because if he's amassed in power, like I even brought up in the sleigh, it's okay to replace him with Belsnikel. That was as a player, that has been bugging me all week. I'm like, what if Santa's bad? What if Mrs. Claus is like behind the big marketing campaign? Like just silly things. I'm standing over them. I'm not necessarily going to stop them, but I could have my own entire holiday by eating a pumpkin.
Let's just rewrite the whole pantheon right here.
I would way
I'm not opposed to
rather
this.
have a day celebrating cats than pumpkins. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Christmas Arbor Day suddenly becomes a thing. Oh no, that's a tree. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like if Krampus comes up and like starts approaching, well, I know I am outnumbered, and then I'm just going to eat the pumpkin.
So Krampus, what do you want to do?
Can I roll the claws?
To do what?
To see if I can. Where am I going with this? Sorry. I don't know. Never mind.
Do you want to assist? Do you want to eat? Do you want to stop? Like,
no, I kind of want to like get rid of everything, like the council wise. I want to kind of like go a little crazy.
Then
Okay.
I see. So Belsnikel looks up from as at the approach and sees Krampus sort of wavering, and I say, "Join us. We'll rewrite the rules together."
Right. So here's how this all kind of falls apart together. Whatever. Falls apart for somebody. As Krampus and Frau move forward and start eating.
Belsnikel.
That's what I meant. As Belsnikel and Frau move forward and start eating, you both take a bite of the first piece of chocolate and both feel an immense level of power flood through you. So much so that it overflows from you and goes into Krampus and the Yule Cat. The Yule Cat just suddenly. Have you seen that video of the red panda attacking the pumpkin?
Yep.
Just raises up. Have you seen that, Greg?
Yes, I have.
Just raises up and just claws into the pumpkin. And then, like, you know how cats do, just rolls on its back and, like, bunny kicks the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And Krampus just looks at the tree and, like, just claws the tree. And it, like an axe swept through it. And as you
Sasquatch.
as you begin to eat each of these things, and then the Yule lads, having seen, two of them go down, immediately turn on the council and help. Things begin to flood back into you.
Minions.
A time when you, Belsnikel, were not evil. You were sent away because you rivaled Santa's power in good, and he rewrote you. A time, Krampus, when you were both giving coal and presents. You kept children in their place in your area by doing both. But you were that the happiness and the presents was taken from you by Santa centuries ago. Frau, a time when you would leave presents on hearths of all the children in the villages around you, but that was taken from you. And now you're just this goose-footed old woman. And a time when the Yule Cat would bring warmth and clothing and happiness and joy, not just the fear of being devoured, to all of the children. All of these memories flood through you and begin to permeate you and begin to change you again. The feralness in Krampus and Belsnikel melts away a little bit. It's still there. There's still a savagery in both of you, but it's replaced with a previous version of who you were. And Yule Cat, you're still big and scary, but you purr with such contentment that it shakes the ground. And the Yule lads change from these feral, dangerous creatures to men with a purpose. And Frau, you de-age some, become more of like a mother figure instead of a crone figure, and just there's a warmth that comes out of you that protects the people around you. And as everything begins to deconstruct and change, we are going to fade to black and take a break for 10 minutes. So everybody can stretch their legs, hit the restroom.
You're killing me.
Get a drink, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. If Roxy is all ready for us to take that break. I'm sorry, Roxy.
severed foot is the ultimate stocking stuffer. Feel free to scream whenever you want. Merry Christmas, my dear.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about what's going on now. Find ourselves at Christmas time the next year. It's been a whole year since the devouring of the claws. Holidays have been strange this year. I mean, we celebrated the Yule Cat like 4 times. The other 6 times were Krampus time. Weirdly, none of those were Halloween. Whatever. Christmas isn't all year, but there is definitely a Christmas feel all year. And there's also the other holidays have spread out a little bit. The only holiday that really survived was the 4th of July because Sam ran real quick. You wouldn't think somebody in, a top hat could run that fast, but he did. But he has made amends and done his best to keep himself on like a 4-day weekend. It's not so bad in the middle of the year.
Those car sales.
Yeah, you got to get those car sales in. Plus, he also makes tributes to Christmas by Christmas in July, so you get that too. Oh, Roxy, you're right. They flew really quick.
Yeah.
So the days the days of individual holidays are kind of gone, but at the same time, there is now a Mother and Father Christmas. Belsnikel has taken the place of Father Christmas. Frau has taken a very different role as Mother Christmas, and the two work together to provide both the good and the bad, the presents and the coal, or whatever. The Yule Cat comes around to give out clothing. Krampus hides in the background to just be a little scary, but it all seems to be working out pretty well. Unfortunately, all the elves are gone. They were chased off or went into hiding. There were a few that had to be attacked. You've actually spent a good part of the year rooting out extra
Rebel cells,
duck tanks, and tinsel cannons, and those boxes and boxes of bulb grenades. But the rebels haven't been great, but everything's calming down as it seems. The Yule lads have been great help. They've moved to the North Pole and have replaced a good deal of the work. Turns out when people are a little bit taller and stronger, they do a little bit better work instead of being frail, short guys. Santa might not have been planning that very well. But your memories of a time past have both flooded back of what they used to be before Santa took part of you away, and also kind of faded away. You've begun to forget things again as you take a new role. And you realize over time that all of the things that the other holidays were worried about are exactly where you're at now. Christmas is all the time. And maybe, just maybe, Santa wasn't the problem to begin with. Maybe there's something behind all of this that is causing the holiday to reach. So as you come to the next year at Christmas time, Father Christmas gets packed all up to deliver all the presents, and Mother Christmas, hands him a really warm scarf so he doesn't freeze. Not that he really can freeze.
but instead of a sleigh, I just ride the one giant reindeer.
Yes, who happens to have a glowing red nose.
Yeah.
You figured out that nose is important.
Well, I mean, the commercialism didn't change a whole lot.
Yeah.
Every year she makes you a new ugly sweater.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
It is the warmest sweater that you've ever experienced, though.
Every time.
And all of the reindeer have sweaters now.
Yes.
Oh, entirely.
And like little hats, but for each of their antlers.
Each point on the
Yeah, yeah.
antlers
Yeah.
gets a hat.
Little hats, yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
bells are now, since I don't have the reins. They can be on the little hats.
Frau's even convinced Yule Cat to wear a sweater every once in a while.
On occasion. On occasion.
That's a new tradition, is wrestling the cats into their sweaters. That's awesome.
The best
I like
and worst
that
thing
idea.
to come from this whole
Yeah.
thing. I do need all of you to roll bad sense for me. And we're gonna give a +1 to all those rolls.
Oh,
That's still a 1. There's a 5. There you go. The cat has found a little thread hanging off his sweater and is very distracted.
Yeah.
Frau, you are sensing that while things are what seems to be better for you, things are still off, and there's a corruption deep within the magic of Christmas that you can't quite put your finger on, or your goose foot on, to figure out what it is. But something is wrong, and whatever the council was doing that was harmful to Santa, they were on to something, and if it doesn't change, it could cause further damage to Christmas as a whole.
Yeah, so I guess she would, sort of gather up the team, as it were, and just be like, and again, because I figure that she has more of that like motherly form now. Her voice is more gentle. So she just kind of looks at everybody and is just like, I've been feeling like there's been something that is not quite right. And well, obviously, having this boon that we do of being able to be in our elements and regain our old titles and everything is amazing. I sense that there is a cost we have yet to pay. And if we don't figure it out, it will be too high.
Well,
Catter Day every week is a bit exhausting. I will be the first to admit that.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks. Okay, so are we literally back on Christmas Eve?
we'll
or-
say that's day after Christmas. The first Christmas that you
Okay.
guys all did together.
Okay,
You've passed that. This is
so now
'cause
we're back in the downtime.
You had way too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
you like this is your first day off in like 3 months.
Okay. So that's good. Okay, so where do we start? Like, I mean, last time we had the abduction of the old claws to give us a starting point. Like, where do we look now?
I suppose who benefits when Christmas loses all meaning? Because that's where we're at, right? Where when you have it used to be that it was special for the time that it was in. And we everybody would be looking forward to it and preparing, and it became something special. And having it be this all the time, inundating you with everything, it's not special anymore, right? Like, that's where we're at, aren't we? You feel it, don't you?
Yeah, that makes sense. So can we rein it in ourselves? Or is there an outside force that we haven't discovered is the question in my mind.
Indeed.
Magic was previously trapped in the table, right? Like the bunny came up to you over a year ago now, and when you snapped the table, said now you've done it. Now they're more powerful. Did did that also happen to us when things happened? When we did what
You
we
all
did,
roll, Will.
do we need to lock ourselves in?
That's a possibility.
Can Yulcat, can I get you to roll, Will? All four of you recognize that power was not in Santa, and it was not in any of the holidays that you destroyed. The table went somewhere, but it did not go to them. And this is the first time you've really stopped to think about it. It was such a whirlwind event. There were so many holidays to murder, so many little bunnies to chase off, and little skeleton pumpkin dudes to befriend, to get under Yulcat's thumb as his minions. Just this was the first time that you guys had really considered what that looked like and what that meant.
To go back and investigate like the table.
Yeah. All right. That sounds like a good starting point. I like that.
So you guys head to Stonehenge, or no, you can just
We can just go
transfer
'cause-
yourself now
yeah.
because you have the power of the
Yeah.
council.
Uh-huh.
You transfer yourselves into the realm of the council, and it is different. Everything is decayed, and not like creepy Halloween decay, but like real gross and like mucky and like pulpy.
Like
just
even
goo.
stones are just not,
kind of melting
Yeah.
and gooifying.
yeah.
So you kind of walk down the path. You get to where the table was. The table itself is still there, but it everything around it has decayed, including the chairs. The table has not. The buildings are in disrepair. The mountain is maybe 200 feet shorter than it was. This realm seems to be falling apart.
Can we
Is there a way that we would know if like we would fall apart with it?
You roll will for me.
Sure.
It's a good question. It's a really good question.
Mhm. I agree.
Oh yeah. So what you recognize is that this was held together by a specific construct known as the council. The council doesn't exist anymore, and while you guys have some powers of the council, it's not the same. So their realm doesn't matter as much. So there's probably parts of you that are holding this together a little bit, but not a lot. That table is not being held together by you so much as the realm itself. If it goes away, maybe you lose a little bit of those powers, but it would be specific to each council member's ability to be a member of the council, not to be a holiday. If that makes sense. The construct of the council held a power beyond just the holidays that they were.
Mhm. And that's the power that is missing at this point in time.
That would hold together that realm, yes. Yeah.
That power didn't come to us. It went somewhere else.
The power in the table, yes. Yeah, that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question I
So
have.
Yep. Okay.
I have the archetype, the old spinner lady, which makes me think of like, the crone and threads of fate kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So is it possible to draw on my archetype to see where the threads go to get like a hint of where the power might have gone? Like, or at least the
Yeah,
next.
absolutely.
Okay.
roll spinning thread and spin a fate point, and we can go that
I'm
direction.
taking
She
one
invoked-
from the pool because I had used my other one.
Fantastic. You are
Okay.
currently at 1 because you were at 2 earlier.
We got
Oh,
one.
okay. All right. Well, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
spending it. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do I succeed?
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yes. So you spend some time at the table pulling weaves from the air because there's a lot. There's a lot of magic here that overlaps everything. So you're dealing with 12 holidays because there is a Christmas holiday here as well. It just happened to be that was the one they were going to eat. And you are having to unweave all of those things individually to get to the deeper weave that is the what that was the power in the table. The first thing that when you touch it, the first thing that happens is you get a glimpse, and the glimpse is this glimpse of a past, and the glimpse is so powerful that the other 3 with you also experience this vision at the same time of a time when each of the holidays came together around this table and pledged themselves to a happier time for humans, a protection and a celebration, and to bring about whatever it is that they had in their own way. But also, they pledged to keep themselves to their time frames. And then you see time after time and meeting after meeting where Santa came and sat and eroded just a little bit of that power, amended their agreement, got them to agree to something else. And it's clear that over 200 years, this has all happened. That the council has continued to lose power and Santa gained it. And that might be at the core, or at least part of it, the core of what was happening with Christmas expanding so much. You do finally, after working through all of that, and the vision ends, you do grab hold of the thread of this magic that left, and you have a pretty solid idea of where to follow it to. It's not perfect, but you have a decent idea of how to follow it if you can. Part of the problem is that it goes into the mortal realm, and you're going to have to keep track of it when you shift from here to there. That might be a little difficult.
So I feel like she would just sort of make this kind of gesture in the air, like she's hanging onto an invisible thread, and then just look at the others and be like, I think I have a heading.
Do
All
we
right.
need to get the band back together, like the all the other holidays, or do you think we can handle this on our own?
Well, we should probably prepare to have the lads show up in case we, um, run into a horde of issues rather than just one issue. So maybe we send a message to have them on standby.
Okay.
So
I'll
pull out
do that
your
if possible.
lad phone.
Yeah. Or I could just pop back to the North Pole and shove them all in a sack and have them,
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
I don't. So the new and improved Belsnikel, Father Christmas would ask for their help in this instance, and like we got to fix the holidays. We didn't do it right last time. We're about to, we're setting off on another quest to set things right. So if you guys wouldn't mind, hop in.
So but you do want to go back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pop back to the North Pole, I assume by yourself, correct?
Sure. Because this is just
You pop
milk
back,
run.
call the Yule lads over, explain the situation. They happily get in the sack, I guess. So we'll call that. You will need to spend
A fate point.
a fate point for huge sack.
Uh-huh.
It's on his sheet.
It is.
No, I believe it. It's still funny.
And then you will not, when you retrieve them, you won't have to spend a fate point for
Right.
sack full.
Yeah.
So when you go back, when you attempt to go back to the council realm, no one's there.
Even though okay.
And everything seems a little off.
Is there a sign of struggle?
No, things are a little less decayed.
Did I time travel?
Maybe?
Do I guess.
Give me a will roll.
Okay. 4.
So when you came here with the others, there was a resonance between the 4 of you that kept you all together. And now your resonance is different. The Yule lads are pulling that off.
But they're supposed to be a part of the thing.
But just like in any other seasoning, it's making the flavor different. You're missing the other 3 flavors and you added a different flavor. It throws off how the realm looks and who's in the realm. You've essentially created a second realm, and there are probably an infinite number of realms depending on how it's handled. Because the world is decaying, there's no anchoring of this realm anymore. By the way, as a story point, it's not something you can't that's impossible to fix. It's not a big deal.
I'm just trying to figure out what to do short of dumping the Yule lads back at the North Pole. Well, I need to find them, I guess. So
give me a good sense roll. We'll give you a +2 on that, since you're technically Father Christmas. Yeah.
3.
So you essentially push your will hard enough against this realm that you have some control over to shift your way into the correct version of it.
Okay.
And there you are. They're standing there. Like, it's been a couple of minutes because you had to go get the guys and then you had to figure out how to do this. But they're right there waiting for you.
Okay. There's something really wrong with the magic. I just had a strange experience where I was here but not with you all. Somehow this place, the corruption here is worse than I thought when we first arrived. Our magic's beginning to work differently than it ever has. So we need to get on this.
How so? When you said you were here but you weren't here?
I went back to the pole. I gathered the lads, and I traveled back here, but it was a different here. It's like there was another, like an alternate reality stacked right on top of this one, and I had to work to get back to the right stuff. So it feels like our magic is unraveling around, like this is the center of the problem.
Was it your domain that you went to? Like, it was more your power, more presence?
It definitely felt my power was, for lack of a better word, stronger there. Yes, it was like it was a realm specifically for myself and the Yule lads to be present in, versus a common realm for all of our kind.
Okay.
Which is what this place should be, is a common realm for all of our kind. And that one was more tuned to me and the lads, so separate from the rest of us.
So an influence of power can alter the reality of the nature. Okay.
It seems so.
Yeah, we need to follow that thread then and find out, or get the council
on the
back
other
together.
end.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, This is happening in real time is the problem.
I mean, we have a lead. We should follow the thread. Do we want to send each of the lads out to? I mean, keep a couple in standby, but do we need to advise the others just in case they, hey, we're getting the band back together, send them off on the montage while we follow the thread
You
to
mean
the other
call in
counts?
Sam is the
Sam
only
is
one?
the only other council member.
Yeah, like I
Oh.
mean, yeah, like I'll send one of them, pull one of them out, and have him go track down Sam, and try to get with the idea of getting them on standby. So like he goes and finds Sam, gets him ready, and then we'll send another one when we figure out where we're going.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we want to reach out to the bunny and the other ones.
Oh no, they're gone.
They're
They're
dead.
gone.
Yeah, you guys killed them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the power of the council is gone because the council is gone. The only one that survived
And Sam the
is
Eagle.
Sam the Eagle.
Okay. Yeah, then we should follow the thread.
Can I get Frau? Can I get you to roll will for me? No, I take that back. Roll spinning thread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good number. So you pull on the thread and use it as kind of like a guideline to pull you through. You come to the edge of the realm. The four of you kind of hold together as you shift from this realm to the mortal realm. As you do, the thread seems to, you lose your grasp on it for a second, and it kind of keeps slipping out of your hand or through your hand even. But you do finally arrive in the mortal realm in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, in front of Independence Hall. And off in the distance, you can hear the Liberty Bell ringing.
Oh,
So Sam
that
was the
going to
problem.
say. Okay.
Or it's Rocky Balboa, one of the two.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
The Fresh Prince.
I feel like Crow gives Belsnikel a little bit of side eye of this is the cost of mercy.
That's the old Frau I know.
Should
Yeah.
have cooked that
No.
bird.
Well, now I'm worried about the lad I sent. What's going on with him?
Yeah.
All right.
So your sack. Let's talk
Uh-huh.
about that for a second.
Okay.
It seems to be convulsing, as though things inside of it are trying to get out.
All right. So I'll place it on the ground and open it up, allowing the lads to get out.
So the first lad comes riding out on what looks at for a moment like a giant reindeer, because I assume you just stuff your reindeer and take him with you everywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
But quickly shifts to be a horse, and the lad loses his head. And the headless horseman rides out. The next one comes out holding on to a kite with a key tied to it.
Ben Franklin?
The next one oddly comes out in a boat with a bunch of other guys, like he's crossing a river. And then one of them comes out with a giant axe and a blue bull.
One of the other reindeer turned into a bull.
No, just one of the other Yule lads turned into a bull.
Okay, sure.
Just all of these American icons, these made-up concepts of America. Because, Johnny Appleseed comes out, and none of these stories are mostly real.
Right.
Washington crossed the river, but
But
Paul Bunyan doesn't exist.
Right.
Never did.
But
We
if
know
the
that.
But if the American spirit is bolstered by the beliefs of what they stand for, they can exist.
And all 11 of the Yule lads come out in some form of American spirit. And then Sam comes out flanked, this is your fault,
comes out
of the Independence Hall.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, in front of you.
Yeah.
Flanked by Rocky Balboa.
Uh-huh.
It's all your fault.
The American spirit. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
American
Yeah.
dream.
Yep.
Or Italian stallion.
And he says, it's only taking you a year. Sam says, it's only taking you a year. Not a lot of American ingenuity in you, is there?
I'm from the old country. What do you?
We're not American.
Yeah.
Very
that-
like you to just take over everything and rewrite it to suit your own interests. This is why
He
the
grabs
rest of the
his
world is annoyed by your country.
He grabs his vest, looks up, and says, it is the American way. And then he says,
It's the British way.
it was once.
It was once.
He says,
we inherited that.
spirits of America, take care of them. And he just kind of settles back on himself. And these 12 figures turn on you. So I need to make some notes real quick because I've named a few, but I need to actually name all 12 of them. So there's Rocky. What else did I say? Jeez, OP.
Johnny
Paul
Appleseed.
Bunyan.
Yep.
Yes.
Blew the ox.
With Paul Bunyan.
Johnny.
Washington crossing the
Yep.
Delaware.
And the headless horseman.
And then also Benjamin Franklin. That's actually
Yeah.
more than.
Oh, that's not. That's only good for me at 7.
Then you need Henry Irons, John Henry, the iron worker.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Hold on,
yeah.
I'm missing one that I just said. Ben Franklin, Washington, Johnny Appleseed.
Annie Oakley.
That's all.
Paul Bunyan.
Babe. Paul Bunyan.
Yeah,
Headless horseman.
Headless Horseman.
Billy
there
the
it is.
Kid.
So many cowboys.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman.
Oh, no, let's not fight Harriet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
no.
Let's not.
I missed. Oh, John Henry. Henry Ford. Yes,
Oh, God.
Henry Ford.
Literally.
Henry
what
Ford,
about
right,
a
yeah.
capitalist machine? Can
Oh,
there just be one
yes.
that's just a capitalist machine and it just has like
And the-
gears
and
and
the-
whistles
well,
and stuff?
The last one is like this amalgamation of
the printing
Carnegie,
press.
J.P. Morgan.
It's just a Model T full of capitalists.
Yes. Model T full of
There we go.
capital. There you go.
There we go.
Carnegie.
Wall Street, my enemy.
Yes. It's just a street with a wall next to it that marches out of your back.
Yeah.
Oh. So these 12 seem ready to fight. Some with weapons, others with like a kite. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, he's the highly mobile flyer that
Sure.
the goose lady can
With
take on.
electric abilities. Yeah.
Points his key at people and shoots lightning bolts.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh no, I already had that idea, but yeah, don't give me ideas. That's how we ended up with Rocky Balboa.
It's all right. We'll just kill him like we kill the others.
So we'll start with all of you are gonna get attacked real quick. So where'd my dice go?
Quick question. While you do that, has our stress come back to normal?
Yes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should be full healed back to where you should have been.
Any consequences and stress
Yeah.
should be erased
Yeah, that should all be good.
after a year.
I would hope so. It's a really long year.
I think I'm the only one that took consequences anyway, but
No.
Belsnikel.
Oh.
We're gonna go with Appleseed swings his pan off of his head at you. How did we not end up with Davy Crockett? That's
Yeah, it's a
Davy
bad name.
Bucket.
yeah, he swings his thing at you. Would you like to defend yourself?
yeah, I'll let's see. He's like this crotchety old guy who just walks around planting trees, so I'm gonna like get real big and like try to scare him into backing off. So I'll defend with fear, like as he
Sure. Yeah,
comes
go
in,
ahead.
I'm like, "Roar,"
Yeah, go ahead. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Frau, you get lightning shot at you. Ooh. Yeesh. How would you like to defend against that?
Let me think. I suppose I would like to try spinning thread, either to quickly whip together a cool spider web shield to like absorb it so I don't take it, or Spider-Man swing my way out of the way. Whatever you think is more interesting, GM.
I think spiderweb shield sounds fantastic.
Cool.
Okay, so you are actually going to take 2 damage, unless you want to spend a fate pool point from the pool.
Party, do you mind if I spend a point from the pool?
Do it.
Go for
Go
it.
for
Then I do that.
Cool. I lost my list because I minimized it. There we go. Headless Horseman rides at Krampus and
Ooh.
swings his sword.
I'm gonna use leaping.
Sweet. Go ahead and roll that. Stick.
Oh
Oh.
no!
So you can spend a fate point and knock that down by 2, but you're still going to take a little bit of damage.
Mathematically speaking, since that was a +3 roll, spending it to re-roll would probably
That's a good point.
work out better.
That is a much better point.
Yeah. Because you
Um,
got a -3 result on the die, which is pretty.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Okay, so re-roll.
Re-roll.
Yeah,
Just
so
so
just
just
hit
click
it
it
again,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still spinning the fate point though. Oh,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, much
You
That's
better.
spend
better.
it to re-roll, but yes.
Yeah, Duke is getting restless. He'll be all
The
right.
natives are restless.
Yule Cat.
Can I
You
offer a
get
suggestion?
dearly run, or you're a car full of capitalists comes driving at you.
Okay. I
Those
was gonna
tiny
say
voices.
something with Paul Bunyan and a giant ox, and I could change shape to try to avoid it. But that's fine. A car full of capitalists is awesome.
Oh yeah, this is just opening round of combat. Don't
Oh,
worry,
okay.
we'll get.
Oh crap.
So, how would you like to defend against that?
Change shape. I'm gonna call on my high concept, huge and vicious cat.
Okay, so go ahead and spend the fate point for that, and then add 2 to your roll. So 3, that's perfect. So you changed size and become a huge and vicious cat. So you are all set there, and then Sam himself chuckles as he raises high an American flag and says, "See the shining stars of America," and like slams the pole of it into the ground. All of you are going to be at a -1 for whatever you do this next round because you are dazzled. Stars.
Does Stephen Colbert pop up and like stand in a heroic pose?
No, but you do hear the scree of an American eagle fly above your head.
Even
as it
better.
happens.
A single tear rolls down his cheek.
Yes. Yes. So let's start with Belsnikel. What would you like to do this round?
I want my reindeer back, so I'm going to go after the headless horseman
Sure.
and try to unmount him.
How are you going to do that?
With physique, I'll just try to do a flying tackle and knock him off the horse.
Okay, sure. So you leap at him and you hit him pretty good. Do you want to spend anything on that?
No, let's just say for this round, I am on the horse and we're basically just wrestling for control.
Okay, yeah.
And,
so you get up there, you don't knock him off, you hit him pretty good, but he's solid.
Right.
Like more solid than you would think a headless dude would be.
Well, being on the horse.
His gravity, his center of gravity is lower because he's got no head.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. So he, oh man. So he, you and he are wrestling for that. Let's go with Frau next. What would you like to do?
I want to use my spinning thread to basically, again, tie up whoever I can, or like to create advantage for the rest of the group.
Okay. Tell me be a little more specific on exactly how you want to do that and who you're targeting.
Okay. So first of all, I guess my question is, can I do multiple targets or only one?
Yeah, you can try that.
Okay.
I have no problem with you trying multiple targets. Depends
could
on.
I
Go ahead.
make a suggestion? So, like, rather than targeting one person, like one person could use, if she succeeds, could use the advantage. You could just throw out threads and create just like, running threads all over, looping off of light poles and mailboxes and stuff, and just in general fill the area with threads.
Yeah.
But like if someone uses it, then that opponent trips over them and kind of pulls them all in.
Yeah. So you could target one specific person, or you could just toss a bunch of threads out there, like you were saying, and then that would give a blanket advantage to whoever wants to use it next. Does that make sense?
Would like to do is basically create, like, her, she just sort of like does this, and then like tendrils of her hair fly out in all directions or whatever, creating like in anime how they have those like wires.
Yeah,
you
no,
just
that's
see
perfect.
the light.
Go ahead and roll spinning thread for me.
Hey.
Oh, that's real good. Even with a -1, which, by the way, you had a -1, so I actually succeeded on that. But I'm not going to worry about it.
I forgot about the negative.
Not a big deal. So you spin out all these threads all over the place. They don't tangle anybody specifically, but they are definitely out there. Yulecat, what would you like to do this round?
So in theory, the car of capitalists just drove by.
Sure.
I am a cat that has caught my eye. I'm gonna swap at it. I don't know if there is a direction I could choose. I would like to swap it towards the Capitol building, or the Justice Hall of Freedom, or whatever it is.
Sure. Roll your attack.
I believe this should be physique because it is size.
Sure. I would also let you roll change size, but they're the same number.
Yeah,
so.
same amount.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 1, so yeah.
So you swat at the car. You push it a little bit, but that Model T is a lot more nimble than what you would expect an old timey car to be, and it dodges out of the way of your the full brunt of your swipe.
American Steel.
Yeah, that's what you hear from it. American Steel. These colors don't run. We hear a lot of that. These colors don't run. America. Krampus, it's your turn. Built Ford tough.
I am distracted by the shiny automobile and I forget who I'm fighting.
You can fight whoever you'd like. Yeah, honestly, there's
so much chaos.
There's a lot of chaos
so
here.
Much going on here. I think I'm gonna try and use my cold chucking and just try and strike whoever I can.
Just choose somebody. It doesn't matter who.
Go for the eagle.
Yeah, I'll go for the eagle. Why not?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
It's something.
Yeah. So you throw the rock, and he swiftly uses the bottom half of the flagpole to knock it aside as it comes in. He says, "Home of the brave, not of the coal." Listen, I'm gonna have to come up with stupid catchphrases the whole time. They're not all gonna be winners.
No, I'm not judging at all. I understand completely.
He deflects it and says, "This is coal country."
There you go. That
Oh, yeah, that's way better. So the Model T, full of capitalists, actually changes a little bit. Becomes a big old Dodge Ram truck with the hickiest hick you could ever have. Got a gun rack. He's got a shotgun out the window, and he's just yeehawing his way around. And he's going to take a shot at Belsnikel.
All right.
He's yeehawing it.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
no.
bad roll. Roll. What would you like to roll for defense on that?
Food.
Oh, so you're going to eat the bullets?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound safe.
That's a ballsy maneuver, Cotton, but I like it. So, yeah, since it was just during your turn, you took the -1 from the stars. You rolled the same as him. You don't take any damage as the bullets come near you. You just eat it.
Yeah,
sure.
I intended to catch it. I intended to catch the slug and spit it back, but I got a little zealous and chomped it instead.
Yeah, makes sense. And then Washington rows his boat that is not in water. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the street just has ripples as it goes
over towards over towards Frau, and just as he's getting close, like you know how in jet skis you'd make a sharp turn and then the water will spray. He somehow does that with this old rowboat, and just douses
all the guys.
Goes to douse Frau with water. Frau, how would you like to defend against that?
What do I want to do? I don't like the like water being splashed on me makes me think of Wizard of Oz. So I feel like again I would defend with my thread, but this time using it to try to get myself out of the way and in a better position.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a roll. I'm actually going to go ahead and spend a fate point. So fate point from me goes to Frau. So I'm going to go ahead and still hit. You're not hit with water. You're in fact hit with scalding hot tea.
I was just going to say like asphalt, but you know,
no, it's more American because tea. You know,
okay,
because we dump tea in
the river. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. American Revolution.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a greater insult to the old lady. You're wasting tea.
So you will take you'll take a point of damage from that. Stress. A point of stress from that. Physical stress.
All right.
Then
check the box.
Yule Cat. Where's my list? There it is. Yule Cat. The ox sees something its size and charges at you. How are you going to defend against this ox?
If I can see it, I'm going to prepare to leap out of the way. So unnatural leap.
Yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, you leap right out of the way of that. Yeah, you leap right out of the way of that, and the -1 is gone because it was only on your turn.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're definitely fine now. You leap out of the way of the oncoming cow. He seems very angry. And we'll go to Krampus. Annie Oakley. Hold on, let me make sure I know who I'm talking about. Okay, that's who I thought it was. Just wanted to make sure. Annie Oakley tips her hat to you, Krampus, and says, "Time to take down a monster," and then shoots you.
Just whips out a gun.
Well, I mean, that's what Annie Oakley
did.
I just want to make sure that
we're in a magic fight, and then whips out a gun.
How would you like to defend against this bullet coming at you, Krampus?
I think I'm gonna try and use leaping again.
Sure, go for it. Sorry, you're fine. We'll take the first roll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. She fires her gun, you jump out of the way, and nothing seems to really happen.
because it's a cowboy movie, and if the bullet didn't hit the target, it just doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how that works. Then Sam the eagle steps like 3 steps, comes 3 steps down towards you guys, and says, "Amber, amber waves of grain," and like swings his arm out, and you are all kind of pelted with grain particles, giving you all a -1 for the next round. Belsnikel, what would you like to do?
Hopefully, no one has a gluten allergy.
Well, we all know that you're not got diabetes, or you would have died after eating Santa Claus. So hypothetically, you're safe. Belsnikel, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna deal with this horseman here and get him out of the saddle for sure this time.
Sure.
So,
remember, you are at a -1, which is mostly a reminder for me.
Yeah. So I will. Yeah, I'm too close for the switch, so I'll just bodily try to wrap my arms around him and
Sure.
toss him from the saddle with physique.
Do you want to spend anything on that?
I will spend a fate point.
Okay. So go ahead and spend a fate point off of them. And so, yeah, you toss him off of the horse, which quickly turns back into a reindeer. As he hits the ground, he dissipates. You see he hits the ground, the headless horseman visage dissipates off of him, and then the Yule lad just kind of lays there unconscious.
Sounds good. So I pull the reins on the reindeer and sort of do the whole rear up, very cowboy-esque, and be like, we can, I don't know, give some kind of whoop and holler, to rally the group.
Okay.
No mechanical effect of that, just
Frau, what would you like to do?
Is Benjamin Franklin still up?
Yes, he is.
All right. He has a belly, and I want to slit it.
Oh my god.
Boom.
He has a belly, and I want to slit it. Okay, I'm sorry. So you swing with just like a really sharp thread.
No. Her nails elongate.
Oh, yes. So you swipe with your nails straight up him, and as you do, the skin of Ben Franklin falls off of the Yule lad and dissipates, and then the Yule lad falls over unconscious.
I feel like she takes the moment to lick the blood off of her claws and looks at the others who's next?
Her slightly reduced form of Mother Christmas instead of just the
she's got the little bonnet.
Yeah.
It's just this.
It's
such
even
a lovely
scarier.
little. Yeah. So Yule Cat, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. So the ox just came for me. Who am I still engaged with Babe?
It is so
chaotic.
It is so chaotic. You are engaged with whoever you'd like to be.
A giant thing just came at me. I'm going to try to bite the back of Babe's neck.
Sure, go for it. Roll.
All right. And I would do Devour. Is my summon.
Yeah. You are going to fail. Would you like to spend anything?
I would like to spend if no one cares if I spend a fate pool.
No, yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So I would do that.
Yes, as Roxy's pointed out, it's a free country. In America, you can be engaged with whoever you want.
Yes, you can. Don't forget that.
So you clamp on the back of the bull's neck, and as you pull and would rip out part of the skin, the whole skin rips off of this Yule lad. He falls down unconscious, and then you suck it in like a long piece of spaghetti. If you had stress, which you don't, you could heal that, but whatever. Good enough.
Okay.
So the ox is gone, and you hear Paul Bunyan wail when that happens. Krampus, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, didn't I just take out? Oh, Krampus. Sorry. Wow, my brain is somewhere else.
You want to fight Krampus
I
now?
do. Yeah, I want to fight.
Good
Krampus.
That's
Lord.
cool. Want to see where that goes?
And turn on each other. Okay.
Yeah, mid-fight, party just starts killing each other.
I'm going to jump at the eagle and try and use sack stuffing.
Okay, roll your sack stuffing. Ooh, you are at a -1 too because of the
Yep.
amber waves of
waves.
grain. Would you like to re-roll? To do that, you still got a couple left.
If we
might
have
as
anything in
well.
the fate pool, I'll donate it. Do it.
Yeah, there's 3 in it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's way better.
That's awesome.
So you grab hold of the eagle, and he screeches, and as you shove him in the bag, the amber waves of grain just kind of stop pelting everyone and fall to the ground. So it's their turn. Sam's in a sack. So
That's
Paul
got to
Bunyan?
do something.
yeah, we'll see. Paul Bunyan runs straight at the Yule Cat and screams, "My ox!" and swings at you. How would you like to defend?
If I'm aware, I'd like to do unnatural leap.
Yeah. You are definitely going to get hit.
I'll take it.
Okay,
Or
cool.
no.
So you're what now?
I should be down at 1, I think. Down to 1 stress.
Yeah. So you take 2 stress from that. As he swipes his axe pretty solidly, even as a big cat, you take a pretty good hit. Billy the Kid rides over towards you and says, "There ain't but one cowboy here," and pulls out his 6 shooters and fires at you, Belsnikel. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
How would you like to defend?
I guess my furs are gonna
Sure.
defend against this. Don't like that, but oof.
Oh yeah. Do you want to spend anything?
No, I'll just take
3?
No, I'm gonna take a mild consequence
Sounds good.
and 1 stress.
Okay.
Say a flesh wound for the consequence.
Sure.
you're frozen.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Weird. I'm looking good on my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, my
everybody,
camera's frozen on the feed.
Can you hit just hit refresh real quick on your thing
I don't know what
see
that
if-
looks like.
on the browser? Or are you?
Well,
in
I
an
was
app?
I was in the app.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Something's going on now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Give it a second. There it goes.
Oh,
It's
there we go.
reloading. Give it a
Yeah.
second.
All right.
Uh,
So yeah, I take a flesh wound and as a mild consequence and a stress.
Just but a scratch.
Okay. Then we've got good old John Henry charges at Frau Perchta and swings his mighty hammer. There's my dice. How would you like to defend against that hammer?
She's going to whip up a cat's cradle to catch it.
Okay.
So I'm rolling spin and thread.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you catch the hammer just in time before it can hit you.
It's one of those things where I imagine it's like, because it's the tie, it's like right against her face, but like, she's hanging on.
Yeah, that's perfect. Henry Ford. You know how in Fix It Felix or in Wreck-It Ralph, how Fix It Felix like jumps around and fixes things? Suddenly, Henry Ford makes his own assembly line for himself to make a giant pair of scissors and comes at your sack to cut it open to get the eagle out. So, Krampus, how would you like to defend against that?
I don't think you can cut open my sack, but hmm. I'm gonna use the claws and try and like use my claws as a shield.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it. So I'm beating you by 1 currently. You will not take damage from this, but it could cause problems with your sack.
Hmm.
And you do still have a fate point left.
Why not? Let's do the fate point.
So you get your claws in the way and deflect the blow of his giant scissors. And now it is Belsnikel's turn.
So I'm gonna I'm like toe to toe with Billy the Kid because he just shot me, right?
Yeah.
So I will bring the switch down and attempt to incapacitate him.
Sure,
take
go
him
for
out.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
So you switch him and like you hit him on the head and like a crack sends all the way down the front of him and it just pops open and the Yule lad falls out unconscious and the rest of him dissipates. Frau, what would you like to do this round?
Still standing.
Yep. Sorry, what was the first part of that?
Who is still standing?
Oh, that's a good
how
question.
many do we have left?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are still standing. Rocky,
Okay.
Paul Bunyan, Johnny Appleseed, Annie Oakley, John Henry, Henry Ford, and that dude in the Dodge Ram truck.
Okay. The one that hit me is he still up?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So I would like to, since I've got my cat's cradle holding his hammer. I would like to use use my thread to basically like wrap it around his neck so that way and pull his face into the hammer. So basically like I'm holding it like this and he's concentrating on hanging onto it to slam that face onto that thing.
Yeah, no, that's great. Go ahead and roll your spinning thread. Oh yeah. So you do that, crack him right in the face with the hammer. He much like a cartoon porcelain plate, shatters into lots of pieces, stays in the air for a second, and then all kind of falls apart, revealing just the Yule lad who falls unconscious on the ground.
Stop hitting yourself.
Yule cat, it's your turn.
Is the crossing the Delaware still a thing?
Yeah, Washington's still out there.
Because Paul Bunyan, I just got out of his way. I'm gonna leap onto the crossing the Delaware boat with unnatural leap.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Did I roll it? No, I didn't. Hold on. Boop. There we go.
Okay, I am currently beating you.
You are.
You can spin to re-roll
I'm out of fate.
if you want to use fade out of. You can use fade out of the pool.
It's
That's
3
always
in the
an
pool
option.
still.
I'll snag one of those if we still have it. Yes.
Yeah, go for it. So go ahead and re-roll.
Boop-a-doop-a-doo. There we go.
Okay. So that will I still will win, but there's still a floating advantage out there that has not been used of the ropes,
Oh yeah, the threads.
the threads. Would you like to enact that or to call on that
If
advantage?
no one is objecting.
Cool.
All right.
So as you leap up, the threads act as like almost a wave on one side of the boat, and you land on the other side. Your huge form lands on the other side, capsizing the boat.
Sweet.
And as it does, it all kind of fades away, and there's the Yule lad unconscious on the ground. And Krampus, it is your turn.
Okay. Who do we have left?
Rocky, Paul Bunyan. Oh, I didn't mean to do
I
that.
forgot
There
about
we go.
Rocky.
Johnny Appleseed, Annie Oakley, Henry Ford, and that dude in a Dodge Ram.
Is there any way for me to try and get the dude in a truck and Annie Oakley to have a shootout with each other.
Stand in between them and try
Yeah,
to,
like
try to leap.
I'm gonna like
Yeah,
try and stand in between them and
and then
like
leap out of the way before
Yeah,
the
give
bullets hit you.
me a leaping roll. That's a good idea.
oh,
Oh.
balls.
There's a
You
pool.
still
Use the
Fate
pool.
point. Yep.
well, you still have a fate point, so we'll go ahead and use that. You should re-roll that.
Yeah, reroll.
10 rolls of leaping. Yeah, so you pull out just out of nowhere. You pull out like a red
right, like a
The sack.
tablecloth.
Just
yeah,
wave-
you wave the sack, and like the guy in the truck is like and like revs his
it up.
engine a couple of times and then just peels out at you, and you jump out of the way at the last moment, and Annie Oakley's like, no, and gets run right over. So Annie Oakley is actually the one you did the damage to, and as like the truck passes over her and you see her on the other end, like the visage disappears and there's the Yule lad unconscious on the ground. So top of the round, I need a will roll from you, Krampus, as you can feel your bag ripping.
Oh no.
Oh, but you grab tight onto it, hold it, and force it to keep hold of itself just through the sheer force of your will. Let's start. Well, that's where we were starting. The dude with the Dodge Ram looks a little upset, and he turns on the giant cat because obviously he can't just run over another lady. So Frau's out, but the cat big enough to run into. So he charges, or he drives right at the giant cat. How would you like to defend against that, Yule Cat?
My instinct is natural leap. I mean, that's
No,
what
fine.
I'm good at.
Yeah. Yeah. So you managed to jump out of the way just kind of the last minute. Yes, chivalry or something. So you tend to just leap out of the way at the last moment as the truck comes flying at you. Meanwhile, Rocky charges at you, Belsnikel, and he says, and I know this isn't a Rocky quote, don't judge me. Says, something like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Just screams, sting like a bee, and then swings at you. Go ahead and roll.
Sting like a bee.
He says something you can't understand at all. Just mumbles his way towards you.
Die.
Yeah, he swings on you. You kind of take it a little bit, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then Frau Johnny Appleseed says, "Oh, you can cook. I make apple pie," and swings his pan at you. How would you like to defend against that?
Let me think. He swings his pan at me. Oh, I would like to use Wrinkled Old to appear to him as that mother figure who taught him how to make those pies
Yeah.
that he loves dearly, and just do the complete, like, you wouldn't hit an old woman, would you?
Go ahead and roll that. I like it.
Apparently he would, though.
You still have a fate point. Would you like to use it?
Sure.
So he swings, and just as he's getting close, he realizes that who he's swinging on, and his swing falters and misses you. Belsnikel, it is your turn.
All right. So I've maneuvered the reindeer relatively close to Johnny Appleseed and the Frau, and I hear his apple pie comment. So I quickly reach into my pocket and pull out an apple and chuck it at him.
Sure. Roll it.
With physique. For
Oh,
yeah.
What do you scream?
Yes, I chuck it at him, and when it bangs him on the head and knocks him out, I say, "I like them apples." Hey, if we're gonna be corny, I'm gonna be corny when the opportunity presents itself.
The
Apparently you're gonna be
visage
appley.
corny. Are you not saying that this isn't just the most dramatic fight you've ever been in?
We are in some weird Saturday morning cartoon right now. We dropped from anime to Saturday morning cartoon.
I'm fine with it. I don't care. Hey, listen.
No, I love it. I'm fine.
That's because we're fighting America.
There you go. There you go.
America.
Frau, what would you like to do this turn?
So is Appleseed still up?
No, Appleseed just got binged in the
Okay,
head.
Cool. Cool. I just want to make sure. All right. So who is still up and fighting? Does anybody like engage in any?
Rocky, Paul Bunyan, Henry Ford, and that dude in the Dodge Ram.
Okay. So I want to take on Rocky. And because I would like to use stuffing bellies, and I have a purse and a fistful of Werther's Originals, and I would like to have him choke on them.
Go ahead and roll it. How'd you kill Rocky? I killed him with Werther's Originals. Woo! Oh no, he rolled really well.
Wait, can I take a fate point from the pool to bump that up?
If we have them, yeah.
It's so freaking cool.
Roxy, go ahead and Frau should not have that fate
Correct.
point. She used it earlier. If you want to yank that off there, and then take one out of the pool too.
Yeah, because it's such a cool way to kill Rocky. Let me have this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we'll even say I'll give it a negative because I want an old lady to kill somebody with Werther's Originals. That's fine. You shove a bunch in his mouth, and he said, and you say, "Oh, candy for you, little boy." And he just the mumbling gets worse, and then suddenly he starts choking and falls over, and there's the Yule lad unconscious on the ground. Yule Cat, it's your turn.
Just to play off Johnny Appleseed. Goodbye, American Pie. And I'll stare at the guy in the Dodge. You should have driven a Chevy to the levee and swipe at him.
Okay.
That's going to be a physique roll for me, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I tried.
You are out of fate points. There is one left in the pool.
That's up to the people.
There's one left in the pool. Do you guys want to give it to him or hold on to it?
I'm fine with him using it if
I'll use it.
Just take him out.
No, actually, it won't even take him out. So no.
Oh, then just
I
keep
wouldn't
it.
use that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then Krampus. What would you like to do this turn? We've got Paul Bunyan, Henry Ford, and that dude in the Dodge truck.
The dude in the truck, I think is who I'm gonna go after, and I'm gonna try and take out his truck by just like dragging my claws all along the side of it.
You're gonna super key his car?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Roll. You're gonna Wolverine this. Doesn't he do that in a movie where he like drags his claws down the car
Yeah,
and
he
then
does.
explodes?
I'm sure, yeah.
Oh, you rolled, didn't you? Oh, that's not a great roll.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That truck is pretty nimble. And he dodges out of the way.
Quick?
Yep. His turns out his name is Jack. He's nimble and quick. He's gonna jump over a candlestick. So their turn. I'm sorry, Krampus, can you also roll Can you roll will again for me?
No.
Oh yeah. No, you feel your bag begin to rip this round. If it happens again, he will, or if he succeeds again, Sam will get out. Then the guy in the truck charges at the cat. How would you like to defend against that Yule cat?
I'm gonna have to go physique because I
Okay.
don't see myself leaping out of the way since I just swiped at him.
Sure. He's gonna hit you.
Yep.
All right.
Can I take a stress and a minor?
Minor is 2, isn't it?
Yeah, minor is worth 2.
Yeah, so you could
All right.
just take a minor, or I think you're called mild.
Mild.
Actually. But yeah, same thing.
I'll
Yeah, you
take
can take a mild. Then
call it declawed.
nice. Belsnikel, Paul Bunyan swings his axe at you and says, "Time to switch to a real weapon." Switch to a real
Switch
weapon.
to a real weapon. Okay.
How would you like
You
to
should
defend?
kill him for that.
Yeah. Oh, I've been disconnected from the internet.
Oh.
It's not good.
Yeah, no.
Am I still on the?
Nope, you're frozen again. I think you're having
Yeah,
a connection
you're
issue.
stuck on the stream.
Cool. It says it's there, but no internet from the router.
That's weird. I'm getting it.
So it's just my computer. Okay.
I can roll it for you if you tell me what you want to do.
Let's just. I'm gonna try to like sidestep and open my sack and.
So sack stuffing?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you sidestep him and you have a fates point to spend.
What did I get? I don't.
You got a 4.
You
have a fate point to spend to put him in your sack.
Oh yeah.
To
That's
like
what I
just
mean.
straight like he is gone until you choose to bring him back.
He swings in and just I compensate and make him just get swallowed up by the sack.
So he is gone. And then Henry Ford with his big scissors is going to swing at the Frau. How would you like to defend against that?
Boy, let me think. Can I use a stunt?
Yes.
Is that how that works? Because I have Grace of a Swan that lets me fly up partially.
Yeah.
So if I could use that in combination with spinning thread to dodge.
So to use the stunt, you're going to need to spend a fate point, which we have just one left in the pool, and that's it.
Okay, then no, I don't want to do that.
Unless you have channel points you want to spend on yourself to get another fate point.
Hang on a second. Do I?
I got you.
I
Well,
do.
yeah. Greg has one. So yeah, go ahead and you spin that, and there's no roll needed. You just fly up out of the way, and it misses you. So back to you guys on your end. Belsnikel, what would you like to do? We've got Henry Ford and the dude in the truck.
I'm gonna attack Henry Ford, and just basically try to ride him down and hit him with the switch.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Back.
And I'm defending. I get to roll that.
Yep.
Oh yeah. You're writing down the guy in the truck, right?
No, Henry Ford.
Oh, Henry Ford. Okay. Yeah. So he like raises his scissors and you like snap them in such a way that hit the screw holding the scissors together, and as they kind of fall apart, he stabs himself with both of them because they're heavy. And the visage disappears, and
I say something along the lines of time to seize the means of production.
Yes. for the revolution.
Yeah.
So Frau, it is your turn. You leaped up and flew for a second. What would you like to do this round? There's just the dude in the truck left. Frau?
All right. I think that I would like to use my thread to jam up those motors, and ideally make it blow up because that would be awesome.
Go for it. Oh.
Jiminy.
Okay. Yeah.
got it.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a pretty solid roll. Yeah, you send your strings in like up into the engine block and all around it and just like rip the engine out.
Yeah.
And and the truck and the whole visage just disappears, and on the ground is the Yule lad. And it's about that time that combat's going to end, but Sam the Eagle flops out of the sack, clearly beaten. He says, "We just wanted to stop the war on Christmas," and then kind of passes out.
What?
Yeah.
I would like to take the liberty of
Liberty
to begin plucking him because I believe we have a lovely Christmas goose here.
Oh,
At least
okay.
get his flight feathers first. So
Yeah.
you can ground this turkey.
So as you begin to pluck Sam the Eagle, I assume Krampus is holding him up because, it's a big old eagle. The magic surrounding everything seems to pour out of Sam and then merge and swirl with yours, and then you feel magic pulled away from you, and in front of you opens up like a see-through shimmering portal to the realm of the council. And you see it there that things are going from their decayed status back to the way they were. And you can see 12 members of the holidays. And Santa looks out and says, "Well, that was it. I'm so glad that you stopped the spirit of Christmas, or the spirit of America, and their rampant consumerism." And where the eagle was standing, you now see just a general like Uncle Sam figure, and he says, "Yeah, America was founded on something good, I think, and we got to change and make it better." And like all of the holiday people are there, and you feel that your roles go back to where you were. And Santa says, "You've all served well, and I'm gonna make sure that there's never a chance for the naughty list to disappear again." And then the bunny, that little rabbit that spoke to you earlier, hops forward and says, "Good. It's good that you were trained to take over for Mr. Fatman. You fulfilled your destiny, Belsnikel. You can be released from this endless cycle if you'd like to live out your life. Or would you want to stay the way you are?"
I like my job. I think I'll keep it.
Good. And magic swirls around the bunny, and it turns into what you know as Father Time. Just the concept of time in this mortal body. Says, "Good. Then this year has been weird, but I think it has fixed things and put us back in our proper place." And that's our story. Congratulations, guys! You won. You beat America.
I'm sad that I couldn't have our delicious roast.
I
Oh
know.
no, you eat that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You can still
Okay,
eat that.
We can still eat the
good.
bird. Okay, great.
If you
Good.
could keep Krampus from and the Yule Cat from just devouring it while
Yeah.
you stand.
Oh yeah, I mean she's an old lady with a spoon. I think it'll be fine.
So that has been a savage Christmas. We will be back on Tuesday with Tomes of Isolation, and then starting in January, we'll be back with Growing Shadows and Eliminated Page, and Tomes of Isolation will continue until we're done with Night Road, and then we're going to switch back to Dawn and Roxy at that point. Probably be sometime in March with the rate that Tomes of Isolation is going. It's a good story, but it's long. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube, I would love to see our YouTube subscriber numbers go up. The link is right there in the chat. Link for our Facebook is there in chat. I'm sure the Twitter's coming real quick because Roxy's always on top of that. And there's just a few more days left in this year to donate to My Extra Life if you want to throw that up. All the money that is raised by Extra Life goes to help, raised by My Extra Life goes to help Riley Children's Hospital. So any money that can go to them and help them out would be great. As a reminder, you can go over to Amora Games on DriveThruRPG and check out the new book. Should be coming out before Christmas, right?
Before Christmas.
And you can go to SavageSparrow.com and check out all of the fluffy blankets and cool clothes there, and check that out. Maybe not in time for Christmas, but still, you can get them, and everybody needs a good New Year's gift too, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you to my players for having fun with me and dealing with the chaos and ridiculousness of this Fate game that I had a lot of fun with, and I hope you guys did too. We'll be back soon with another holiday thing sometime. I don't know when. So, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, we're gonna raid. If you guys want to stick on, I forgot that we're doing that.
Oh, right.
Sweet.
So you just need to, if you're in Twitch, just stay there. If you're not in Twitch, don't worry about it. You can disconnect.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you for
Beautiful
having me.
ish. How?
Yeah.
Good. You know, we
It's-
did.
Yeah,
it.
I've had a
We got
blast.
a little overwhelmed towards
Yeah,
the end. And we really